Hello, everyone. Josh here. Welcome to another episode of the Ignite podcast. Today, team, I'm going to talk to you about something very, very specific: how to reduce your debtor days. So let's get into it. Fresh off a conversation with our boardroom members about this, hence why I'm recording this episode for you. For those of you who don't know the terminology, like debtors days are, people that owe you money, and debtor days are the number of days outstanding on a particular invoice. So, like debtors days can be anywhere from 14 days through to 90 or 120 days. We don't want you to be at 60, 90, or 120 days. We want you to be getting cash back into your business as quickly as possible. So let's get into it in terms of what we're going to unpack in today's episode. I guess first things first, like why is this important? Fundamentally, because you don't want to be a bank for your clients, and you don't want cash that's out there that's owed to you being out there any longer than it needs to be. Cash is king in business. The more that you can have cash coming back into your business quickly, obviously, the more that you can make or do things with that cash and make good sound financial decisions. So it's a big challenge in our industry because we don't invoice or forward invoice for work. Typically, some of our clients do that in terms of for sometimes for new clients they ask for a 50% upfront payment on their invoice before they get going because it's a new client relationship. But typically, I would say 95 to 96, 97% of our industry, you do the work, or you issue milestone invoices. So you might have an ongoing long project that goes over 3 or 4 months. At the end of each month, you invoice your client for the work that you did in that month. The invoice goes to your client. It typically sits in someone's desk or someone's inbox for a couple of weeks. Then it finally gets forwarded to someone else and sits somewhere else for a couple of weeks. And someone sits on it for another month and then goes, "Oh, sorry, you missed that payment cycle. It's going to have to sit here for another month." And before you know it, work that you did in January gets paid in April or May, and that is not good. And so that's why I'm talking about this today in terms of how do you reduce debtors days in your business. And so we've built out a full strategy and a full like scripts and emails and things like that for our boardroom members to follow. But I thought what I'd do today is give you like a high level overview, and hopefully you can take away a few things that can help you start to reduce the debtors days in your business. But I just wanted to give you that, I guess, that context so that, yeah, I mean, logically, the more money's in your bank account as opposed to someone else's bank account, the better. But I think sometimes, and we'll talk about this, team, we'll talk about like the people pleaser and not wanting to ruffle feathers and all those sorts of things in terms of following up and all that sort of thing. A lot of those things impact us to be able to run a really effective business because the more quickly you can get cash back into your business, the more you can do things with it. All right, so let's talk through it. I'll go through a number of different strategies that we teach our clients, and then, like I said, hopefully there's a few things here that you can take away and install into your business. So, going through the process, I think it's also important for you to unpack where do things fall down in terms of the process. Like most people just think, oh, I send my client an invoice, and it gets paid when it gets paid. That's just the wrong attitude because it's your money. You're owed it. You've done the work fairly. It's about going, I'm going to treat this seriously. I'm a business owner. I take all things seriously, and I'm going to do the things that I need to do to get the money back in the door into my business as quickly as possible. So you issue an invoice. It gets sent to you'll have certain things that you have to kind of follow depending on the sophistication of your client. What we recommend is a series of things that you do over the first 2 weeks of that invoice leaving your email account or leaving the office to give maximum potential for that invoice to be paid quickly and on time. So the first excuse or the first thing that lots of our clients hear is, "Oh, no, I didn't receive that invoice. Like, yeah, no, can you please resend it?" And so if you send an invoice and just wait, and then maybe 2 or 3 weeks later you follow up, or you might be in Zero or have one of those systems that do the auto email follow-ups. The first excuse is, "Oh no, I didn't receive that. So can you please resend it?" They're buying themselves time. You've just delayed the payment of your invoice by 2 or 3 weeks purely by not having a follow-up step in place. So what we recommend to all of our members is as soon as the invoicing gets done or the invoice gets sent, the project manager or you or your admin person calls the client and said, "Hey, just sent you an email with an invoice. Just wanted to make sure you got it." Let me just check my emails. Oh, yeah, yeah, I got it. Yep, it's in my inbox. And yep, just 100% confirming that you've got the invoice and you're having a look at it now. Yep, definitely got it. Okay, great. Thank you. So what that's done is you've just brought that whole process forward 2 weeks because you've got verbal confirmation or you've got confirmation from the person that you sent the email to or the invoice to that they have received it. So the whole excuse around, I didn't get it, can you please resend it? Gone. So that's the first thing. So as soon as the invoice goes, a call gets made to the person who the invoice was sent to, just checking you got it. Okay, awesome. Um, uh, Ninja trick, this, and I'll talk to you about what we do in about a week's time, but you can do what I'm about to tell you to do in a week's time. You can do it on that same call then. So let's just do the two calls first. So you do your first call. Yep, you've 100% got the invoice. Great. I'll leave it with you. Any questions, give me a call. In about a week, you could do 3 to 4 days time. You call the person again and go, "Hey, just wanted to make sure that you've had a chance to have a look at the invoice. And do you have any questions about anything that's on the invoice?" No, haven't had a chance to have a look at it yet. Okay, cool. Why don't we do that together on the phone now? And so you're asking them to go and open the invoice and go through everything. Because the second big delay from lots of clients are, oh, I finally had a chance to look at your invoice, and of the $150,000 that you invoiced me, there's a line item there that says 2 hours for site visit. I don't agree with that. So let's just hold up the entire $150,000 invoice while we deal with the 250 or the $500 for the site visit. Classic play, happens all the time. So what you're doing with this phone call, this second phone call, is you're going, cool, we've got some time on the phone now. Can we just go through the invoice together? So yep, this is a line item. That's for the design development. That's for the construction supervision. Oh yeah, that's that variation that we spoke about where we did X, Y, and Z. We've already had that pre-approved. And so you're using that phone call to go through with them to make sure that they do not have any issues with what you have sent them. Now, the advanced play is that you do that on the first call. So the first call, just checking you got the invoice. Yep, got it. It's in my inbox. Cool. If you've got a couple of minutes now, let's open that up and have a quick look at it, just to make sure that you're clear on everything that's in the invoice. So if you can get it done on the first call, great. If you have to do a two call, that's totally fine as well. Now, you're probably thinking at this point, Josh, I don't have time to call a whole bunch of people all the time on invoicing. I'm going to say that money is, king in your business, and that if you can install processes, it might not be you, it might be your admin support, it might be the project managers, it might be the team leaders, but if you can get cash coming back into your business more quickly, so that you don't have to um, get a line of credit or dip into your overdraft to pay staff salaries that week, I feel like that's a pretty good use of time. So anyway, rant over. Um, the third thing is on that call, like you want to know. So often there's gatekeepers. Often it's like the invoice goes to a PM or someone within your client's organization who then have to forward it on to admin to actually get it paid. And they usually have an internal process where they've got to forward it on and say, please pay. They might have to fill out some paperwork and say, this is the invoice for X, Y, and Z against the project. Can you please pay it? So while you're on the phone, just go, great. That's amazing that you're clear with everything on that particular invoice. Can I just ask that you forward it to your accounts team now, just so that we can speed up the payment process? And if they don't have any issues with the invoice, you should be able to get them to just hit forward and do the thing then and there while you're on the phone with them. So again, you saved yourself another 2 weeks in the whole debtors cycle. So we're just trying to bring everything forward by being proactive with your invoicing. So two calls, maybe one, and then you want to make sure that you have heard or witnessed or been part of the process where your connection within their organization has forwarded the invoice onto the appropriate person for the invoice to get paid. The third play here is you or your admin team or someone on your team you'll want to develop a relationship with the person, the accounts lady, the accountant, the bookkeeper, whoever pays the invoices for your client, building a relationship with them too. So find out, like do a bit of digging, find out who pays the invoices, who is the person, get their name, their email address, their phone number. And if everything else fails, you're calling them and going, hey, I'm just following up on this invoice. Where is it at? Oh no, the PM hasn't sent it to me yet, or they haven't approved it yet. So you on all fronts, you're wanting to get to know everyone within the business who has the responsibility of getting your invoices paid. Again, you're probably thinking this feels like a lot of work, but again, is getting paid on time and getting money back into your business worth it? Yes, I'd say so. So this, let's build some processes into your business for other people to do this for you. So, and then you've got like Zero and those kind of softwares that like have like the automated follow up and stuff. Most people just ignore that. It's about relationships and you leveraging your relationship for money to get paid into your business on time. So have a go at that, follow those 3 or 4 steps, build them into your business in terms of a process, and start to watch your debtors days go from 90 to 120 days down to 60, down to 30, and you'll find that you're getting more cash back in the door for you to do amazing things with. So, yeah, team, hope that helps. There's a lot of things there for you to start to implement. Have a go, start to implement, and let me know how you go. And team, finally, if you want to keep doing the business building journey on your own, obviously have a ton of free resources for you to do that in terms of the podcast, YouTube channel, website, that sort of thing. Um, but if you want to get some help, if you want to shortcut the process, if you're sick of stuff taking too long, if you're sick of not knowing what to do next, I'd love to make an invitation to you to join our Boardroom coaching program. So if that's you, you're curious about Boardroom and how it might work for you and your business, there'll be a link below this episode. Book in a business audit call. Let's do a full review of your business, a full audit of your business, have a look at what's working, what's not, give you some pointers in terms of what you can start to fix in your business right away, and have a quick chat about Boardroom and how we might be able to support you further. Have an amazing day.